tomorrow we're heading up to North Wales to pick up an engine from Chris Robinson, who very kindly offered me his because he's doing a V8 in his TR7. So we're going up to take it out and then hopefully get it into the back of a Ford Focus. So all I'm taking with me are impact wrench, because I don't know if he's got one, a few sockets for that, some overalls, and then some stuff to try to tie it down in the boot once we get it in here somehow. And I think that's going to be the interesting bit, but Chris is pretty confident we could do it, so I guess we'll see. Don't know how this will come out, but what's the time now? It's 7 o'clock. I've been going for about 40 minutes. We're heading up to North Wales to see Chris. Had a bit of drama early on this morning when this door here, driver door, doesn't shut in the cold. It's buggered to unlock, and then you have to warm it up before you can shut it. So I had to get the heat gun out to warm up the lock area. But yeah, we're progressing on. We're about to come off the M4 and head up the A449 for the M50, M5 up to Manchester and then across. So I'm taking the slightly longer route. It's probably about 220 miles this way, as opposed to about 170 if I go along the back roads. But this is all motorway, and so I can just sort of not think whilst I'm driving, you know. And so that's what we're doing. We'll have another look at breakfast. Right, it's a bit later now. I just grabbed a bit of breakfast and some coffee, and we'll keep going on our nice journey up. Right, I'm up with Chris here. I'm up with Chris here. Engine was practically out apart from a few bolts connecting the engine to the transmission and the exhaust. So the bolts took us about 15 minutes, and then we've been trying to cut through this exhaust for about the last 2 hours. So and it's just trying to get it. I mean, you can see down there just how much we've been cutting and what we've been trying to do, and yeah. Anyway, so we're working on that. We're nearly there, we think. So we got it in the back. We ran this right off the shortest element, and we had the engine hooked on 2 short ones, and a bit of pushing, to be honest, once it got in there, and that should be okay, as long as it's held onto the seat holders, so as long as those don't break, and if they do, don't tell my wife. Other than that, yeah, looking good. I mean, Chris has been extremely kind, and I thank him again very kindly. So I'm just leaving Chris's now. I thought I'd just give you a little bit of the country lanes where he lives, which is just quite gorgeous. So clearly not for 2 cars, but these are proper twisty lanes, rather unlike the ones that you see in the States when people talk about they're going out on a twisty. So on here you really do need to turn. Anyway, so yeah, engine's in the car and tied back.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto B5125.
I've got about 4.5 hours driving if I'm able to do the speed limit. I think with the second engine in the boot, we're going to be going a bit slower.
Turn left onto B5125.
So yeah, we'll come back when we get it back down south. So I'm heading down now. I've been going a couple of hours, and whilst I was up there, Chris was showing me the parts he's got together for his TR7 V8 conversion. Lovely engine, looks absolutely gorgeous, and but he's also got a new front subframe, because the mounting brackets on the for the engine are in a different place. So it looks very much like the TR7, but it's got some extra bits on it. And it's just occurred to me as I was driving down, I should have asked him if I could buy the old TR7 subframe off him, because it would have it was in considerably better condition than the one that I have up in Scotland. So I think I might be writing to Chris when I get home and just seeing if I can buy it off him and get him to ship it up for me to Scotland, or south to me, and then I can fix it up and then take it up to Scotland. Anyway, I just thought about it. I'm just kicking myself as I drive down because he was looking to get rid of bits, and I didn't think to offer to take that one off him. Anyway, great guy, really, fun to work with, and funny, and very generous, and lovely wife, lovely place to visit. Really enjoyed the day so far. Today's job is to get the engine out of here and somewhere in here. So first things first is let's tidy up the garage a little bit, find somewhere to put the engine, and we'll go from there. Okay, it's not really tidy, but I've cleared up all the mess on the floor so that I can maneuver a bit in here, and the plan is we'll get some wood on there and put the engine on that so we can wheel it about and move it out of the way. But first we need to empty out what we've got in here, so let's have a look at some of these bits. Right, so bits that I brought down. I don't know if anyone remembers the bracket that I took off the green car, but this bit was completely rusted through on it, so I need to weld that up. But if I've got a spare, this one is in better condition, then we've got that. And I mean, mine engine mount was perfectly good, but Chris didn't want it, so I just took it. I have here the coil and the lead. Right, so we have here one, oh my gosh, heavy starter motor. My starter motor, if you recall, the solenoid wasn't working and needed replacing, so we'll give this a test and see if it works. It had been working, and then last time Chris tried to start the engine, it was just clicking, and I think that's probably a loose connection, or that the car just needed rolling a bit to get it all synced up properly. So I think that should be okay, at least I'm hoping. We have a fan blade, a fairly new alternator, which is a lovely addition. Filter container. So those are the extra bits. Oh, and here we go. The coil, from the coil to the engine. Oh, and the also one radiator and the radiator shroud, which again, my radiator was all the fins were very beat up, so that'll be a nice addition. that went easier than I expected. Toughest bit of that was getting the exhaust off the engine, which, I mean, it just took us ages. So I have one spare engine. I don't know what I'll do with it yet, and I don't really know where I'm going to store it, but if the other engine runs, then that will be going in the car. And what I'll probably do is, well, if someone wants it and wants to collect it, they can pick it up. If not, then we'll maybe rebuild it and just have it as a bit of a project. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Collecting an Engine. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.